The Black Chakra, magic for uplifting society and mastering wizardry imagination. So, this video here is for giving you an insight into the Black Chakra. By the way, your chakras are your glands. So if you have 7 chakras, you have 7 glands. And your 7 glands get informed with alchemy, with everything you ingest through your senses. So how your chakras are balanced and how your chakras are aligned, hopefully, mirrors out into the reflection that you see. And you might be like, John, you talk a lot of nonsense here online. John Michael Qimen, what the fuck is wrong with you? You have psychosis. I'm like, on the one hand, that's true. On the other hand, there is a lot to the shit that I say. Why? Because I have self-experience with it, and this goes back into a long learning curve that I was going through. But mainly, I do the wizardry for uplifting society because people don't want to listen. So what I do is I enforce my magic onto the recalibration and balance of whatever the fuck is going on in society, because basically we're all the same. But then, we have this culture that tells us we have to get money, to get health, to get education, to get knowledge, but basically it all comes from mind, right? So now we are going to talk about the Black Chakra. Now, as you might can see, your pupils are black. That's the main insight. Why is that? We could ask. From my point of view, the antimatter, the occultum, the black matter, the antimatter sits in your skull, in your brain, inside your skull. In the very middle part, it's completely dark. But once you look into the light, you get rays into the soul. So this substantia nigra that sits in your brain is informed, and if you take a look into black goo, for example, black goo is the substance that is basically there for evolution or revolution, whatever we might call it. So each and every single, let's say, cellular structure has a nucleus, which is black. So the black matter is the melanin, is this living substance that's always causing chaos, basically. But it's there for basically creating harmony and compassion, truthfulness, tolerance, truthfulness, so to say. So, I rub my hands here like a magician because I'm like, hey, I plant these seeds. But hopefully, I at the other part, I don't even know shit. But like I said, there might be a lot to what I am spitting. Vivian Fula, hey, good to see you. So, martial artists basically cultivate a lot of blackness. When you go to the gym, you sweat your ass off. You put everything that you have into it. What you basically do is you put the Kundalini energy, yes, the S port, support for the Kundalini snake. It becomes different um, once you get more into arts. And this is also what sigil magic is coming into place, food signatures, stuff Zen Etman was talking a lot about. I like to keep it more on the imaginational thing because for many people that come here, they already know about urine therapy. They already know about Shivamukapa, which might be the basic entry to the advanced level magical things that I'm talking about, and I'm still learning, obviously, right? I'm not putting myself here to be like, I talk and you all know shit, which is also the case, but like now there is this black substance, and this black substance, why is it important? Because basically it can form and morph into anything. And this is the expression of mind that we have in society, right? But I would say, from a higher standpoint, a lot of things become more complicated if we break it apart. We can all come from nature. Even the most technology thing that we develop comes from nature. So we don't have to be afraid of this technology thing. But on the other hand, we forget about the shit that was working 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. These main workings, for example, Hermeticism. Everything is mind, everything is frequency based, everything has a male and female part to it. These laws are still in place, and these laws still rule what we have in the overmind, right? What we have in the mastermind. So that's all what I'm going to offer tonight. So I don't know why you come here if you like to, first of all, techniques in a nutshell to reach your enlightenment might be the following: fasting, sun gazing, urine therapy, which is Shivamukapa, Falun Gong, Kalari 2, martial arts, kickboxing, Kemetic yoga, Smaitawi, alchemy, and basically distilled water, and breatharianism, fruitarianism, liquidarianism, stuff like that. So this is raising up your frequency. But once we then tap more into the dark shit, nothing really matters because you can always make it black. Now the highest magicians probably make it red and white, or make it pure, right? They empty it out. So it's always about the purification of things. But once we take a look into alchemy, we burn certain things. They fall onto the floor, onto the soil, onto the soul. The ashes fall into the ground, and the phoenix is rising from the ashes. So that's probably what magic is. And you might say, "Oh, magic is not working." I can tell you, occulted things. Like if people go to church, people are into religion, you know, we are talking about raising the cerebral spinal fluid, the CSF, from the bottom of the spine into the cranium, into the head. This is what yoga is for. This is why we have 33 vertebrae in our spine. This is why we have a 33 degree of Freemasonry. This is why you have a CC, which is Christ consciousness. Vivian Fuller, Karate, Yoga, Meditation, Kata, Dojo-kun, enough drinks sind Tee. Yes. Yeah, it always comes down to this, like, hey, focus your mind onto one spot and basically stay hydrated. Now, if we take a look into, for example, kinetic yoga, the Egyptians, you can always make it like black or like dry, so to say. And this is the advanced alchemy of things, which is basically about the substances you ingest, that you cook into your alchemical vessel, and basically, you should have fun, you should enjoy, and you should feel good about what you say and how you feel. By the way, 2 people are into here, and I tell you, I'll tell you, give this video a thumbs up. Hit the 2 thumbs up button, give this video a high five, and so we can talk about further concepts of the mind. But yeah, how did I get into this whole magic thing? Well, probably my parents were or are high-level magicians, and my whole life I was basically trained for this because I was, from a soul path. My 2 brothers died at birth. I was doing a lot of physiotherapy, ergotherapy, psychotherapy, kickboxing, raising the Kundalini with Kalaripaya, and going to university and all of these processes, but in the end, they all come together into this, what we now present as John Michael Qimen. Who the fuck is this guy? Why is he so powerful? What is he even talking about? But the trick here is that you, and I was saying that already in other live streams, you can always talk yourself into everything. You can have a blank sheet of paper, a white sheet of paper, and you can draw and pencil whatever into it, whatever. And it becomes certainly a more physical layer of reality because you put it from your mind onto the paper. So there you have something that you can actually grab, that you can actually read, that you can actually spell to somebody else or burn, and see the burning aspect. It's magical. So, but all these processes basically happen in your own body. So if you eat something, if you smoke something, if you ingest something, you burn it in your own body, so it raises up, right? You cook it up. And what comes out as the mist, as the mystic, is the spirit, the breath. That's what comes out. And certain people are like, okay, this is way too esoteric for me. This is way too metaphysical for me. Well, I can tell you, basically once you do urine therapy, it's pretty obvious because you get to the point where you smell like piss. And you can tell people, can you smell me? And certainly there is a lot of information in urine. And no, it's not a waste product. You are misinformed. It's basically your solution. So the question is, how far can you push it? How far can you go with it? Certain people, because a lot of mind programs are imprinted in their skulls. So is it in mine, But I can tell you a lot of fasting that I've done, a lot of purification, a lot of sun gazing. These things all inform the soul, spirit, mind, with higher degrees of imagination. And this doesn't really mean that I'm better. It just means, we are all equal. And what we basically have in common is this substantia nigra, melanin, antimatter, occultum, dark thing, which is connecting us. It's not a bad thing. The devil and Jesus, the devil and Jesus are basically the same thing, the same phenomenon. And many people are like about dating, dating people and meeting people, and people are like having sex and fucking each other, and okay. I mean, okay. Mhm. I can understand that, but from my point of view, it's also pretty dumb what you do. Because, once you have sex, you create basically. We can get into Tantra, we can get into Kama Sutra, whatever you might call it, but it's mainly, hey, yo, Danny Skylar, gross. What the fuck's wrong with you, Danny? You come here and tell me gross? Like, am I gross? I can tell you, like, a vagina, I haven't seen many, but a vagina looks like your skull from this perception up. So what you do in sex is you basically stimulate your skull. You were getting me off topic here. I was talking about the Black Chakra. So, see, I immediately feel this energy of fucking and sex, and certainly we all came here, no sure. But I can tell you, sex, and it's causing a lot of trouble from my point of view. Dating, basically, like putting a male and a female together, it causes a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. So, you better be alone to figure some shit out. And you go into yourself, you drink your urine, you be on yourself, right? That's the first step. And, wizardry for society is basically, okay, somehow we have to enforce you into the real thing, which is like, okay, first of all, we have to get rid of everything. We have to get rid of chairs. We have to get rid of um your souls. You should walk barefoot, but also, in society, that's not really manageable, right? So now what I see is people walking around it with high soles and high boots and shit. So it's kind of bizarre to me. That's what it seems like we, how to put it? basically it's imagination. You have a certain image of yourself, you follow that, and you inform yourself with certain information, you become that. So be aware of the black magic that you face in your own phone, in your own mirror, because that's certainly what you will morph into. That's all I can say, right? Your phone is basically your magical device, which is telling you how you move, what you think, um, what you will become, and it's basically informing your substantia nigra, which is the melanin thing. So is occultism, is the occultist, the mastering the wizardry, is it bad? Is Freemasonry bad? Like, I talk about, all I know about Freemasonry is that there is a 33rd degree. It's probably the highest, like, not even the highest one. Silver tap. Yeah, I go for the second place, right, Danny? I go for the second place. You can be first. Because it's basically unimportant where you stand, because from your perception, you have your perception. It's your standpoint, your point of view. So you'd be like a lighthouse, You're like, okay, I just stand here and I guide the ships, like, and I tell the ships, oh, here's the coast, by the way. But like a lighthouse which is growing into itself, and everybody does that. Everybody is a lighthouse. Everybody has the pineal gland. Some were built with more than 33 vertebrae. Yeah, Danny, probably I have more vertebrae. Does it make me better? Certainly yes, but certainly no. Because I talk my shit online. I talk myself here in the mirrors, but when I face physical reality, some have an extra rib. Yeah, like a T-bone rib. Oh, but once I face physical reality more, and I'm like, okay, certainly I have to somehow align. Yeah, the fountain. I have somehow to align myself in the physical plane and in the mental plane and in the emotional plane and spiritual realm. It all comes, you can be high in spirit if you can be very low in the physical body. You can be high in the physical body, be very low in the spirit. Isn't it more about finding the balance in between, finding basically what, you get it? Birds and tea balls. Wasn't this one, no, he was named Teabag, I think. Teabag. Teabagging is like you look at a lot of porn. I've watched a lot of weird shit online, and I'm still impressed by what humans can basically get into. Even with this whole imagination thing, and if you take a look into, for example, cartoon porn, it's like this shit is weird. People actually manifested that with their brains, but more than that, people were making these movies. People were into that. It's kind of like okay, and once you consume a lot of that, you definitely be on the hellish plane. Is it bad? No, but it shows you just a certain part of yourself where you're like, this shit is weird. Danny Skylar make me wonder about the Boston Tea Party was about. Boston Tea Party, I never heard about the Boston Tea Party. Basically, you never heard about John Shamanic. You never heard about John Michael Shinneman, but still, I was the one who was creating this whole rally that you were sitting in. But like I said, it does make me better. But my father was telling me, that somehow, as a co-pilot, he was a very high degree of co-pilot in rallies. He was driving even the Rally Dakar. Crazy stuff. But once you get a lot into the co-piloting thing, into the navigation, which is basically what I do with my wizardry, with my magic. Um, you get a part of what is actually happening onto the rally because you see how things change in your city, how things change in society, but you're still like making all of these steps in your brain. So basically you don't see a lot of the rally. You know, I was just going to university, dropping my medicaments, dropping my alchemy, doing all my mental things, and I was just doing the handout, so real. Yeah, like this is the real power that people were telling you about in the Nazi regime. And am I a Nazi? No, I'm nothing of your, because I can always put another title, onto myself. That's the real wizardry here. But certainly, from society scene, I'm a bachelor. I will become a master. Maybe I will also become a PhD. Will people then listen to me more? Well, it's obviously probably then produce them in society. People will then know about vitamin D, vitamin B12, pretty crucial, essential elements. And yeah, it's, why are we pushing it further? I am pH balance. Yeah, exactly, Danny. The I was saying that in another live stream. A real doctor, a real PhD that you go to because you have to fix your health is balancing out your pH level through acidic things or alkalic things. So you find them, because it's all waves. You can call them theta waves, delta waves, alpha waves, beta waves, whatever waves. The waves of consciousness, and we can get into the mega mind and the mastermind and why I am superior than you. And no, it has nothing to do with me having like blonde hair and blue eyes and being white. It's more about what I've done physically, mentally, and spiritually, emotionally to raise my spine into the posture that is my destiny. Also, a mother with 360 degrees of angles of frequency. Yeah. Like, also, a lot goes to Danny Pascua Castellanos Nixon, aka Skylark. Vivian Fuller, the balance of the life is very important. Is very important. The balance of black and white karma. Yeah, and as a witch doctor, sippy cups. As a witch doctor, you suck in a lot of toxins. The movie Green Mile with this tall black guy who was able to basically pull the dark shit out of people. I can do that probably, and it's sometimes why I feel bad. Gray life matters. Yeah, then you got it right, man. Yeah, gray lives matter because black and white equals gray, right? It's all the color thing, and that's why you get gray hair. I can see it. I know you, and we get into the grays, which are aliens, you know. You know, it becomes very obvious. The occult of things become very obvious to you once you see them, and basically nothing really changes because like it, it's all there already. It's in front of you. But we can put metaphysically things out, you know, make them more physical, make them more seeable. This is why I told you yesterday that I give white sheets of paper to the kids so they can run their imagination and just scribble it out, you know. Very wise thing to do. Because I'm like at my position, I know like I'm a high level magician or I become a high level magician, but um at that part you ask yourself, okay, what kind of seeds should I put in? And certainly I have certain ideas of values that might be good, but at the same time I'm like, okay, I don't know shit, they know better. They know better than me. This is probably also why Zen Atman was passing away, because like Zen gave everything that he had to the world. Everything. Doing 10 hours of live stream. You can't show me anybody who does 10 hours of live stream. I probably will do it at my owl headquarters once, maybe. But what was Zen putting out? Like so much information, and once you know about occult things, once you know about the Black Mirror and, like I said, Substancia Nigra, so you put it onto the internet and you say, oh, it stays there forever, and basically nobody really cares. But metaphysically, these things exist then in another realm. So they also, exist once you just think them. But once you put them onto, for example, YouTube, you make it more accessible for people who like to see that, you know. And then he's kind of like, yes, and we can get all like, weird and motherboard. Yes. Benny's my motherboard. Like I showed you how I drink my urine. I was even going with you onto the white throne, onto the toilet, and I was taking a shit on the live stream. Does it make me feel better? Is it, like it's definitely, like a next step into, okay, that's what you finally become. Because you're not afraid of doing this, I'm not afraid of standing beside my van and pissing into a cup and drinking it. I might do it in the dark, but I do it. Why? Because like, and then I think about, what if everybody would does that? Isn't that also weird? We have to find a better solution for that. But it's at the same time like a solution to many of our problems that we have here. But like probably there aren't a lot of people into like the degrees of magic where I am, and basically I haven't had many teachers, and I have a lot of teachers because then he's got me too. I conduct my living water. Yeah. Yesterday I was even putting a bit of RN onto my tobacco and onto my weed, and smoking myself, basically. That's what you, by the way, always do. You always consume yourself. In degrees of magic. Yeah, then is it the solution to become all, yeah, like magical? And I don't know. It's certainly, once you uh express yourself more, you probably morph into the true nature of what you are. Because, like, I couldn't make some things up for like 2 years and be like, okay, this is untrue. Mermaid memories. Like, you think there's my mom in calling. I call her later again. But you think I could make things up for how long do I do YouTube? Mom is really a hard rock. She tries to call again. I have to call her later. But like you think you make things up for a longer period of time and they're not true. Especially like because if you take a look into YouTube videos, people people are making shorter videos. People are not making like they're cutting things. They are putting different effects onto their videos, and I'm like, okay, fuck it. You know, Vivian Fula, the life is a big memory. Yes. Like, and I'm like, okay, fuck it. Like I just do whatever I do. I give you the raw material. Do whatever you like with it. And this is why, like I don't look at much. I spend a lot of time on the phone, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, like, are these things even real? You know, because from my point of view, the way people are producing and the way people are showing themselves is not like what they like. Are they? I mean, obviously, I see. I'm over question. I don't even know. But it's. I get goosebumps on my freaking skull here. Like this is like for real. Like this is what people do. And sometimes, I'm even afraid of looking at my own shit because I'm like, oh, John, what the fuck did you said online? Like, but I don't make a lot out of it. Like I don't make money with these videos, but why? Sometimes I fucking hate, Silver Surfer. Sometimes I fucking hate this YouTube thing. Like, but my mind is like, okay, let's do it. Let's do another show. Okay, let's do it one more time. Let's tell people one more time about urine therapy and why I am the greatest. Oh, whatever. And you see, this is like far away from my ego. Far away from my ego. Because, like, it obviously gives me something. These videos, they, like I said, this is magic manifestation mirror technique. But I pay back basically electronically to me. And you know how much energy is 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 used for these videos. Because you're connected to the matrix, you're connected to the to the here to the chains, you're connected to the cables, you're needing a lot of electricity to do these things. But you know, okay, like the intention is is basically the quest. The intention, right? So people are like, "Oh, Jan, you talk to press. There is no spoon. There's only a split." Ah, gosh. Okay. So if there is no spoon, what is there? The Holy Spirit, you know. And I work at a Christian, society, so to say. And sometimes I'm like, do I really have to carry the 33 level cross here one more day? Because I actually smell like piss because of this. Literally. Because I was, doing a lot of fasting, like welding. I was boiling myself so much down, I was basically crawling and being like all sucked out, you know. But then I figured out about, like vampirism. And basically, that vampires are not bad. For example, you have these little birds which are like picking, like basically like a little blooding. And you put these um worms onto you. Like they're not worms, but you know what I mean. Basically, it's about making your blood more pure, and that's what your body does anyways all the time with urine. You know, urine therapy. You can ingest blood, you can ingest urine. It turns into the same thing. So, um, there are some energy suckers, and there are people who are giving you basically energy. But basically, it's the same thing. But you should be able to do both. You should be able to switch. But yeah, shut the fuck up, John, and smoke this weed. Yeah, so the mastermind and the Ultron 3030, 33 degrees of like occulted wizardry magic. I can tell you, if you fix your alchemy, if you know about your own alchemy, you feel good, and like, okay, I got this. Because like, I like, the universe is sometimes also testing me. Like how much can I give away? Like, but I do it this way. I do it this way, and I hopefully reach the people who need it. I hopefully can balance out and help you in a certain way. At least that's what like a big interest of because I would like to just heal, to just uplift myself. And basically, the children in the school were telling me that on a Friday. Our little owl or owl our owl is hurt, it's broken. And there you have fucking me. That's me. Owls are the wisdom bringers, the wisdom messengers, and I do that, but I'm also hurt. There are a lot of like bad things in myself, in my flesh. And certainly, how toxins. What are toxins? Especially if you talk about the Black Chakra, because black is just absorbing everything. I have only meat too. owls. I haven't seen a lot of owls, yeah, also, but a few, especially if I'm out with the bike, I was seeing some owls, but I'm possessed by the owls, so to say, brown and white. Yeah, it's the dirt and the pure heart. It's where I basically am. Do I like it? So okay, John, pull yourself out of the dirt that you produced for yourself. And owls, they have huge pupils, you know, like black pupils. But yeah, like owls also talk a lot of shit. That's what owls produce a lot of shit. But damn, I got my own chakras fixed. I got my own glands aligned. So I can talk and spit because my tongue is cultivated. They help see in darkness. Yes, and that's what I don't recommend the dark shit for a lot of people. Danny is there. I know Danny is higher than me in darkest things. Like I can tell for sure. And Vivian is also probably like getting towards that. But be careful, be careful of the darkness, and make sure you ingest enough vitamin D to tap into the darkness. Get enough sunlight so you can see in the darkness. That's what I basically recommend. And maybe get into melatonin, but you shouldn't drop as so much pills as John is doing. Yeah, all help in the darkness. Yup, and iodine. Mm. Yeah, I haven't ingested a lot of iodine recently. Maybe get into, but MSM was helping a lot. Yeah, Danny, Ethereum Gold. Yeah, you were mentioning that in another. I remember you were even like posting a picture about it. I remember. Yeah, like when I would show you basically what I have over here, Monster Energy drinks, the golden edition. And it's basically a bunch of shit. It's a bunch of shit, sugars, not even sugars. It says zero sugars, but whatever kind of chemicals are in there, I piss them out and I reconsume them. That's also what animals do, right? Animals consume the dirt, and animals don't have like mental problems. But could you tell, maybe they have, maybe the animals have mental issues. But once you tap into vitamin B12, and basically we have low vitamin B12 with you because we're not consuming dirt. Monster Energy and your pullover. My cousin works for Monster. She is in distribution. Oh, so okay. Cheers to the Monster Energy thing. If I would come up with my own mixture in a drink, because I would think drinks would help. What would I put in? Well, obviously a lot of caffeine, a lot of vitamin B12, a lot of vitamin D, some MSM probably, some L-tyrosine, some L-arginine, some OPC, I'm close. Some CBD, uh, some caffeine, some what else? Maybe selective serotonin and noradrenaline reuptake inhibitors, and also some urine. I don't know how that would be produced, but that's what I put into my energy drink, and it's basically what I ingest. It's my alchemy. It's like, oh, okay, people are afraid. I'm not afraid, because the more you show yourself online, like the more funnier the whole comedy show becomes. Like, uh, stop looking at my videos. Like, get out of here, create your own YouTube channel, and talk your own self into whatever you would like to have. And that's certainly the VR, virtual reality, right? My ex did too know. He has. Danny Scott. My ex did too now. He has indigestion problems. And a hernia. Yeah, Danny, like you said, like go to the hospital if it's needed, like don't ever think you're higher than the doctors. But on top of it, do probably urine therapy, although nobody tells you. Why? Because you always are more intelligent than somebody else. Monster drinks and vodka. Yeah. Gosh, I'm turning fucking 30 years this year. Isn't that like what the what have you reached? Well, I probably reached some goals, but I still keep pushing. Hernia is not good. A doctor is important. Yeah, like basically it's a mirror. Your doctor is your mirror. I would say, like probably from a existential point of view, he already had surgery. Like a lot of doctors want to make fucking money, right? That's if you're like if you want to make a lot of money, yeah. Then he doesn't. You have me. I'm not a doctor yet, but you have me. But what if your doctor would tell you, hey, like get enough sunlight, drink your urine, and move your body. Do it on a daily basis. There's been many doctors I died already. Oh, Danny. Yeah. Flatlined. I got a trembling. Bouncing, vodka, vodka, and water is the damn drink. I noise a second 3K. Found my heartbeat. Second drink. Clean the lymphatic system. Basically the what the real magic is? Jumping my love. Jumping for my love. The real magic is, once you just I read your comments and they become true. of this experience. Wodka ist wie Wasser. Yo, 7 people watching. Like, give this video a thumbs up. Hit the high five button. Type a comment into the live stream section. And jump in. They already happened. Carlos Tinos 365. Thumbs up my words. I create. Mind in a place, I can create. Yeah. So, jumping mail fun. Thus I am. Don't get lost in your own magic, you know. So, and always have been. Yo, could you do me a fucking favor? Okay, let's be a bit rude here. Could you just shut the fuck up, all of you, so I can talk? Danny Delane Pascua, Castellanos Nixon, aka Skylark. Could you just please shut the fuck up, Danny? Gosh, I love you. All of you. Stupid weirdos. Drinking your piss and think you're something. It's like, come on. No, I'd be less rude to you. And I just, say my name. Oh, fuck. That reminds me of a great song, Danny. By Cyril Han. It's like Cyril Han, say my name. I'm going to send you this remix. Basically, it's from Destiny's Child. When no one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. So, Destiny's Child, Say My Name, Cyril Han remix. It's a great one. Lucas Johannes Ludolf was showing me that. And I'm spelling all of these names out, and I hopefully, enlighten these people a bit more with it. But, the more I suck you more into my black hole, it bursts out then full light, into whatever. But yeah, be a bit more, oh, John. Okay, come on. Let's be serious. Because I was telling you about this whole sexual thing. I was telling you about, Players Club. God. Big Ballers Players Club. And everybody's like, show me your genitalia. And then it's even, yeah, I say, wait, you want to see some fucking holes? Okay, look at this. Looks like a fucking butthole, right? But this is what happens when you probably, when you smoke. I have 4 children and 1 that didn't make it. Now, okay. Probably Zen would put it. You have a lot of children. Everybody is basically my child. Because, we were talking about the higher levels of frequencies, or more of having more vertebrae in your blood. Two X's and OMG, he committed suicide. Shisha is good too. So yeah. Uh, yeah, but this whole relationship thing is causing trouble. Yeah, it's causing trouble. Yeah, it's a lot of children. Be the change I see. You make me even chaotic. Are you women out there? Are you wound man? Like, wouldn't it be better if you would can just make childs on your own? You're like, okay, like I have an egg and I have a seed, Pacific Island, and you're just like, okay, you just create your own child, and that's it. But certainly you have to fuck, wonderful, not Islam. It would be sometimes better to just like be okay, like create, and that's what the AI does. Well, once it observes John Michael Schunemann, I have Mongolian blood. Yeah, then you drive me towards you. That's good. That's good. It's good. It's true. Like a lot of things you do and say and teach me are top. Yeah. But certainly, I also know there's a lot of energy attached from my father. There's also a lot of energy, purple butts. Ah, you mean buds. Butts, no, you mean butt? Like, I. Mm. Yo, you better, the mark of Asian. You better get an urine coffee enema. I am 1A friend. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, woman trying to get into John Tremanic's blood, or what? I know. I mean, I would just like have a physical experience of somebody, which is way more different than a online live stream conversation where I'm sitting alone in the car. I ain't coffee bean and after it's all said and done, refreshing, I'm making coffee. Make me a coffee. Coffee beans very tasty. Yo, organic. Bucket list. So let's talk more about the Black Chakra. You were getting me a bit off topic with all your comments. Create wizardry for society. society basically needs to purify. There is a black box, not a hole in my bucket. Educate people onto alchemy, onto urine therapy, and basically, because I don't tell you to stop your pills. I don't stop my pills. I know I drop a lot of medicaments, strong medication, but I also do on top of it my own urine. Why? Because I have been to a very clear state in my mind where I was just like fasting and having my urine being very clear, but I can always open the back door and give you a light. So, and my alchemy probably is not for you, but maybe you can learn some things out of the things that I do, out of the things that I ingest. Maybe. Maybe not, I don't know. But, and you'd be like, oh, Jan, you're all high. It is verse. So, I have learned plenty. Yeah. So, basically I educate myself onto myself once I do live streams. A constant learner. So, Danny, Vivian, who else was in here? Carlos Tenos 365. Cool to have you all on the show. And thank you for being here with me. 8 people in the room. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty good. 4 thumbs up. Thank you for that. I hope this was delightful, enlightening, truthful, compassionate, tolerant to you. And we might see us in the future in the spaceship of John Shamanic, one of the greatest wizards living in the mountains of Germany, and educating people onto magic, the occult, and how to heal themselves. That's hopefully what I did to you. So, if you like, you can always call me. You have my Instagram. It's John Shamanic. Maybe you even have my telephone number, but I figured out that like a lot of times, I have to make the calls. But if you like, you can always, like get in touch with me. I'd be happy to like be in touch with you. And certainly, it's it's all a mirror. That's what I can tell you. So good to have you here. These humble words. Uh, yeah, like I said, I love you, Danny. You.